This happened before. So all I do is unplug the unit, because some of these units never turn off. They're always circulating. You either get cool or you get heat, one of the two, because they want to keep the fresh air going through the room. I get that. So you unplug them. Couldn't get to the plug on this. That's okay. That's happened before. I call maintenance. I tell them what I want to do. They take the front cover off. They throw a breaker, and I'm good. Okay? So plan A didn't work. I couldn't turn off the air conditioner. It turned into a heater. And Raleigh-Durham, North Carolina, in the middle of July, trust me, it's not going to be, you don't want a heater running in your room, okay? That's okay. Plan B didn't work. I couldn't unplug the unit because there was no exterior plug. It was hardwired into the wall. So plan C, you call the maintenance crew. So I went down and talked to my buddy Benny again. And Benny said, ooh, I'm sorry. We laid off the maintenance guy. So there's nobody that can help me. And I'm not going to take the front of that thing off and possibly break it. So I said, well, can you give me another room? He said, yeah, I can do that, but they're all kind of the same. Okay, well, let me check it out. I did check it out. And he was right. You could run an air conditioner, or even if the fan never turns off, it turns down real low, you still have that hum, and it turns into a heater, okay? That wasn't going to work. But it's too late to get another room. It's too late to go to another hotel because, remember, I don't have a car. So now what do? Do I sleep with the air conditioner on, which means I won't sleep, or do I figure something else out? And what I figured out is I ran the air conditioner until it got down to 70 degrees, turned it off, the heater kicked on. So I took the comforter off the bed, wrapped the comforter around the heater to muffle the noise and keep the heat out of the room, most of the heat out of the room. It was quiet enough and comfortable enough where I got a good night's sleep. That being said, I woke up at 4:30 in the morning, and it was 80 degrees in the room. So it only worked for so long. But that's okay. I was up at 4:30 in the morning. That's good. There's stuff I could do. So I got about 6 hours sleep that night, which was fine. But that's another way that they just cut back on services. And you can't blame them. If the hotels are only half full or a third full, they can't keep the same staff as they had before, because you cannot continue to run a business in the red. And therein lies the rub. This was a major hassle for me, a major inconvenience. But I can't be mad at the guy at the front desk because he doesn't make the rules. I can't even be mad at the manager from the hotel, because he can't run in the red forever. He's got to turn a profit or shut the doors. So I didn't like it, but I couldn't point a finger and say, hey, look, you need to change this so things can be better, because there's nothing else he could do with the occupancy rate at the hotel being so low. So it was a catch-22. I was going to be damned if I did, damned if I didn't. So it was hard. The other problem I had on the road, and this was probably the biggest problem of all, and please take note of this, because this is a business deal, a business trip, okay? But this will apply to those of you who are considering traveling on the road, even if you're not flying, even if you're going on vacation, even if you're staying with friends and relatives, okay? Folks, I had a real problem trying to find food. Now, not food per se. I'm talking about food that I can eat. Now, please remember, I'm a unique individual, and I don't eat like most people, okay? Generally, breakfast for me, if I'm at home, consists of a smoothie that are beets, kale, broccoli, and blueberries, flaxseed, ginger, maybe a little bit of mint and parsley from my garden. That's what I have for breakfast, okay? If I'm on the road at a hotel, I'll have oatmeal and yogurt and an orange for breakfast, along with copious amounts of coffee. That's how I eat. I'll have either a lean beef, a lean chicken, or perhaps fish for dinner. Lunch generally consists of, I'll stop and get a bag of jerky or maybe a salad someplace, okay? That's how I eat on the road. Folks, so many restaurants were just closed down. And I wasn't staying for the most part in Podunk, South Carolina. Yeah, sometimes I was. But I also spent a night outside of Charlotte. I spent another night outside of Raleigh-Durham, another night outside of Greenville, North Carolina. These are relatively big towns. Charlotte, in fact, was a huge town, okay? And at the end of the day, sure, I could get in a car and I could drive 10 miles to a restaurant, but I'm exhausted. I'm tired at the end of the day, okay? I didn't want to drive 10, 15 miles to dinner. So I generally park the car and I have to find some place I can walk to because I've been sitting all day or standing all day. I need to move. I need to walk. I had 3 meals at fast food restaurants this week. 2 times Arby's, 1 times Popeyes. Folks, I don't think I've eaten dinner 3 times in the last 3 years at fast food restaurants. But that's all I could find. That's all that was open unless I wanted to drive 10 miles away. Many places closed early. Many places closed with a very, very limited menu. Many places said they were open, but they weren't. They were just closed. Or they were closed for that day, okay? They're open Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And this was Tuesday, all right? So they're not open that day. Very limited hours, very limited days, very limited menus, or just closed down. One particular restaurant, I asked the guy at the hotel, hey, where can I get a bite to eat within walking distance? There's 2 places. This place at the other hotel and that place, they're open. Great. So I called the hotel. Nah, we're closed. Okay, great. But the other place, I went to their website, said they were open, looked at the menu, looked like it was a good place to eat. Called to make sure they were going to be open. And I got an answering machine. Yeah, hours are such and such and such and such. Here's the days, here's the time. Come on in. We'd love to help you out. Only problem with that is they should have been open. This was like 4 in the afternoon. And if your hours are from 11 in the morning till 10 at night and the answering machine goes on at 4 in the afternoon, there's a problem. Now, luckily, this place was about a third of a mile away from my hotel, so I walked down. This place was boarded up tighter than a drum with UPS stickers on the front door. Hey, we missed you. Hey, we missed you. Translation, they closed for the pandemic. They reopened and tried it. It didn't work. They were shuttered tight, and these folks were not going to be opening anytime soon. That's what you get on the road. Very limited services. So if you're going to be traveling, be prepared to drive someplace for food because you may have to drive, or you may like fast food. If you like fast food, life is good, okay? Those places are all open. Breakfast places, because I couldn't get breakfast at a restaurant, quite often I couldn't get breakfast any place. IHOPs are closed. Waffle houses were closed. Huddle houses closed. Just closed. These places are supposed to be open 24 hours a day. One place had a sign, open 24 hours a day. Great. I walked up to it. Sorry, not now. It's closed. The sign was still on, said 24 hours a day, but it was 6:30 in the morning. It was closed up tighter than a drum with nobody in the parking lot. Okay. Weird. Airports, same thing. Lambert, I really didn't look for the services because I got to the airport a tad late and I had to just check in, get on my flight and go. But Raleigh-Durham Airport, big airport, okay, major airport. The airports had very, very, very limited resources. In fact, in the whole terminal, there was one place to get a bite to eat on Friday morning. One. No other stores, no other any places. One place to get a bite to eat. So I got a sausage and egg panini with a cup of coffee and a big bottled water. Now, I got the last bottled water that they had in the case. The last one. And it was a liter of Fiji water, which I never get that stuff. It was over $5 for a liter of water, okay? But I had planned on drinking the water at the airport. Raleigh-Durham has good airport water. It tastes good. It's not full of chlorine. So I brought a disposable bottle that I had actually got from the hotel. Went to fill it up, but they had all the drinking fountains and bottle filling stations at the airport closed. That, my friends, is poor planning. You shut off the water to the airport so you can't fill your water bottle. And I was lucky enough to get the last bottle of water at the only store that was open. Friends, I don't know what the people behind me did. But at that time, I was in a very me first mode, so I really didn't care. I got my bottle of water, but I don't know what the other people did. Now, hopefully they refilled those shelves. I hope they did, but I got the last one. What are you supposed to do to drink water? And I get that too. The airports aren't as busy as they were, so they cut services, they cut staff. They cut everything. Everything is cut. Everything. When you have trouble buying water at the airport, that, my friends, is a problem. Now, I mentioned earlier Southwest Airlines. Southwest Airlines is as good as they can be. I love that airline. The middle seats are open. They're going to be open through September the 30th. My son and daughter-in-law recently flew American Airlines. They were packed in like sardines. I'd rather not be packed in like a sardine during this pandemic. But they were fine. But there was no water or no coffee on the airplane. Just they go through one time. They give you a bag of snacks, a glass of water. That's it. They never come by. They're done. That's all you get. And I get it because what they're trying to do is limit the crew's exposure to others, okay? And like every place else I travel, if you're in the airport or if you're on a plane, you need to wear a mask. If you're one of those who thinks, well, it's my constitutional right, they can't make me wear a mask. Friends, on an airplane, they absolutely can. If you're on an airplane and just cross your arms and say, I'm not putting that mask on, trust me, there will be a marshal waiting for you at the end of that flight, and you will go to jail. You will not pass go. You will not collect $200. Trust me on this one, okay? So if you're a super-duper double deluxe anti-masker, don't fly on an airplane because it may be your constitutional right, but they'll throw you in the pokey, friend. Just know that, okay? So if you can't wear a mask, don't fly. Find another way to get from point A to point B. Am I being a Debbie Downer on this whole thing? Maybe. Friends, I'm trying to paint this as positively as I can. Believe it or not, okay? by listening to the tone of my voice and hearing these horror stories. In this case, is the glass half empty? Maybe. I mean, travel is always taxing. It is. You've got TSA to deal with and the rules that they have, the necessary rules that they have. I'm not complaining about that. You have travel delays. You're out of your comfort zone. You always have hassles when you travel. You always do, okay? That's what business travel is all about. I've said this many times. I've said this to my employer as well. The toughest part of my job is getting from point A to point B. Once you get the appointment and you're in front of the customer, it's a cakewalk. You deal with the customer, you help them out, you listen to their needs, you supply a service or a product for him. He gets stuff done, he buys something from you, everybody's happy. That's the fun part of the job. Getting there, the logistics of the whole thing, that's what's difficult. And those logistic problems have just been squared, perhaps cubed. It's really tough. Everything out there is just more difficult, friends. Absolutely everything. My advice, if you're going out and about, not just for business travel, but even for a family vacation, even if you're driving your own car, bring your own food, bring your own drink. Even if you're just getting there in one day and staying in familiar surroundings, same thing. Bring some extra food because you may find your what you need very limited. You may pull in to get a gasoline and go to the truck stop and you want a hamburger, but they have a hamburger place at this place. But you know what? There's no hamburgers place. That place is closed. All you can get is chicken or vice versa. Okay. Stuff is just closed. It's not open like it used to be. You're going to have problems. Okay. Just expect them. You may just have minor problems. You may luck out depending on the time of day you go, the place you go, how long you're out and about. Your problems may be minor. They may be major. Just understand